everyone! Welcome back to my channel. This is Momshie Jhen, your Igorota Momshie. So it's been 1 week since I've seen you. Today is March 17, 2021 and it's a gloomy afternoon. It's drizzling a little bit, but all is well naman when it comes to weather. However, we have new changes and new guidelines for the city of Baguio. So before I continue and give you this updated guideline, kung bago ka pa lang, please do not forget to subscribe below, the red button there, and hit this notification bell so that you will be updated with our upcoming videos, guidelines, and of course, news about Baguio, information about Cordillera, and a lot more. Alright, so ano nga ba yung news natin? Meron tayong 2 major changes here in the City of Pines. So recently, naglabas nga po ng ordinansa ang ating mayor. It is now mandatory to wear a face shield here in Baguio City. Kung dati po, face mask lang ang mandatory, ngayon may kasama na pong face shield and you will be fined if you are caught not wearing your face shield. Unless, of course, you have visual impairment or nakakasagabal siya sa trabaho mo or during the exercises. So, ang pangalawa po ay yung changes when it comes to the COVID-19 requirement. Recently, nag-convene po ang Baguio Tourism Council and other tourism stakeholders and sectors with LGU and our city mayor, and napagdesisyonan nga po na kailangan pong ibalik ang COVID-19 testing. Dahil nga po sa kadahilanan na nag-increase po ang cases ng Baguio, ng Cordillera, at ng Pilipinas. And of course, with the threat of the new variants. And so they made a decision to make COVID-19 testing once again mandatory to all visitors and travelers coming into Baguio City. Ayan, pero ang good news po sa ating mga travelers, mas mura naman po siya. For everybody's safety, of course, this is good. Not just for the locals, but also for the tourists alike. Alright, so if you want to know more details, please do watch this video until the end para po siguradong alam nyo lahat ng mga bases ninyo bago kayo pumunta at bumisita dito sa Baguio City. Alright,
So these are the updated guidelines effective March 19, 2021. Of course, subject to revisions whenever necessary for a responsible visit to Baguio City. So this is a simplified poster for everyone prepared by the LGU. So you just have to follow 3 simple requirements, and specifically this is for the tourists. Once again, this is for the tourists. I'll be explaining to you later the other requirements for the non-tourists or returning residents and APORs. So you just have to follow these 3 simple requirements. Number 1 is, of course, to register with the hdf.baguio.gov.ph. So you have to acquire a QTP or a QR coded tourist pass. I have explained this in my previous video. You just have to check it out at the card above or at the description below. So you must be completed and be issued with QTP at least 24 hours before traveling. And Baguio has already limited the capacity of tourists per day, which is only 3,000 number of visitors per day, with an ETA reservation system on a first-come, first-served basis. The next requirement, ngayon po, binalik na po ulit ang negative COVID-19 test result. So it is now mandatory. But the good news is it is much lower than it used to be. RT-PCR or antigen tests are allowed as long as taken within 72 hours prior to arrival in Baguio City. You may upload the result at your Visita account or you may bring a printed copy of your test result. You may have an option to undergo your antigen test at the triage of Baguio City upon arrival at the price of only 500 pesos. And the third step is the mandatory triage upon arrival. All you need to do is present your QTP at the border for verification. For yellow QTPs, they will be escorted to the central triage or CAP Jhen triage, and the blue QTPs may go straight to the hotels or terminals with triage. Visitors below 15 years of age are allowed to enter Baguio. However, they may not be allowed in some private establishments. But when they are allowed to enter, they must always be accompanied by parent or a guardian, and they have to follow protocols and requirements, especially when entering a crowded place. They are discouraged to go inside enclosed and crowded areas as much as possible. Of course, everybody should observe the basic health protocols set by the city, and as I have mentioned a while ago, it is now mandatory to wear a face shield. Otherwise, you will be fined by the city. So basically, the major change would be the requirement of having COVID-19 test results upon arrival or visit to Baguio City. Now let us go to the non-resident private sector on official travel. So here are the details for the COVID-19 test results. So ano po ang kailangan? They are required to have a negative RT-PCR or antigen test or PRC saliva test results conducted within 72 hours prior to entry. Or you have an option to have an artificial intelligence X-ray scan analyzer at the City Central Triage or AG testing at City Central Triage. So you will be advised upon arrival how the process of this would go. Okay, same procedure, hdf.baguio.gov.ph ang pag-register po ng ating account. For government, private sector APORs who reside to work in Baguio City, traveling daily or weekly or home to work and vice versa route. This is what you need to undertake. Kailangan mo pa rin po ng negative RT-PCR or antigen test or saliva test result conducted. Pero ang diferensya, instead na 72 hours, pwede pong 30 days prior to entry, or you may have an option to undergo artificial intelligence X-ray scan analyzer at the City Central Triage or AG testing at the City Central Triage. For non-emergency and medical emergencies, wala pong kailangang COVID-19 test result. For resident non-APORs returning to the city from personal leisure or non-work related travels in other localities, so kailangan pa rin po ng COVID-19 test results, negative RT-PCR, and the antigen test conducted within 30 days prior to entry. And ito rin po yung ibang mga options natin. Pero pag returning Baguio resident ka naman po or RBR, 72 hours prior to entry, yung requirement po natin from our COVID-19 test results. And of course, for the OFWs and returning overseas Filipino workers, negative results of the most recent RT-PCR test conducted upon your arrival in the Philippines or at the airport. Please be informed that the testing done at the Central Triage only costs 350 pesos for residents and 500 pesos for non-residents and tourists. If you want to know more details about these guidelines, you may check my previous video. The only change would be the COVID-19 test requirement.
I hope that is clear. Of course, pwede na naman pong magbago itong guideline na ito. Kaya dapat po wag niyong kalimutan na mag-subscribe po dyan sa baba, or you can visit my page here at Momshie Jhen if you have other questions at all, and you can connect with me directly. And of course, you can also check my other videos about tour packages of Baguio, tourist attractions, everything about Baguio, and important information and trivias about our culture and the like. Okay, so kinakahulan na ako ng mga aso, pinapalayas na ako dito. Okay, so thank you very much once again for watching. So please do remember the golden rule when you visit Baguio City: take nothing but pictures, leave nothing but footprints, kill nothing but time, and bring nothing but only memories. Thank you once again. Please stay safe, be happy, and positive, and keep the faith. See you in our next adventure. I love you all. Mwah.